Whoa! You are here again. Well, let me tell you of something. I once saw a movie. I believe it was called Big Fish. Now, this movie is, contrary to popular belief, has nothing to do with a fish. Maybe metamorphosis, maybe some kind of changing, some kind of repetition of souls turning from man to fish. It's a story. But then, of course, they have all these far-fetched elements, like trapeze artists. Really? Who can trapeze around? I mean, look at the rope. Skinny. Look at your foot. Fat. Now, say for some instance I'm wrong, and there is. Well, then the story could be more believable. I mean, it goes as far as to say that a midget, Danny DeVito, is a circus wrangler. He grabs all these sorts of strange persons from around the globe, and then he chooses to use them for his own financial advantage. He decides to use the main character, which was Obi-Wan Kenobi. But then he comes there, and from that point on, he decides, I've seen this woman. I see a woman out in the streets, and I am in love with her. Somehow Obi-Wan Kenobi continued to go on. He fought some kind of weird demented child who tried to seduce him from the weird 9-year-oldness until she was older. Why would you let her seduce you? You don't let her seduce you. You battle her, you fight her, and you stop her. Well, of course, how does she deflect your battleness? She gets your shoes! And she throws him over wire. Why? Because it's too high for you. And of course, no man, no gentleman would ever walk without his shoes. I would never, never in my world walk without my shoes. But he does, he's a fool. He walks and you know what he gets? Feet aches. Feet aches from then till he gets to his destination somewhere out in some grassy field. And then he seduces some kind of Siamese twin woman. It's rather strange. It's a strange journey. I felt like I was in some sort of acidic, injected dream. But either way, in his pursuit for some fish, or his metamorphosis into a fish, he eventually grows old, lives his life, and regrets everything he does, and then finds out that he's dying, and then he slowly starts to die. And apparently, after death, we become fish! How many people have I murdered? Damn you, Rubios! Have you had no sympathy for what we are? You've murdered my grandfather! And my grandfather's grandfather, and because of that, I am some kind of cannibal, just like the rest of us. But the movie was good. I love the many fantasy elements to it, and I love the many, how they were able to bring the fantasy and use it to the advantage of the unfantasy. And really, the message is just something about, are we really all fish? Animals that fish around, or swim around, or flop around in the ocean? Isn't that where life really began? Is it? I say so.